Good day everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the HTML lists. So these HTML lists allows the web developers to group a set of related items in lists. So we are going to group set of related items in lists. Okay. So we know that that's a common idea behind listing. See. So here we have got three different types. They are unordered list, ordered list, description list, and the next one is nested list. Nested list is not really a special group behind inside this. It's normally a simple representation in each of these only. So the main types are unordered list, ordered, and description lists. The nested is just a representation inside these kind of lists itself. So let's see each of these. First one is unordered list. Unordered list will list the items, or the list items will be marked with bullets. Bullets means what? Small black circles. Okay, by default. So we don't need to add any of the styles for this. Unordered list simply lists the items in bullets. That's it. So here is a code for that. Wherever we need to add this kind of lists, so we just simply need to add that or this particular set of code into that HTML code. That's only. So here is the code for that. UL is our tag which defines an unordered list. So in order to define an unordered list, we really need to write this UL tag. So once we opened it, we have to add our list items. So here I'm going to list some of the common drinks that we normally use. They are coffee, tea, milk, etc. So only I have got these free list items, and since I listed everything, I closed my UL tag here. That means unordered list here. So let's see how it works or how it be displayed. See, everything is listed in bullets. That's all. So in order to list something simply, we just can write in this way. Okay, so we can also add some of the styles. So then only our web page will be more attractive and nice to see. So let's get into that things now. Different list items marker. So these are actually the list. These are the list items and these are the markers. See, these bulletins are the markers for each of these list items. So we can change these into some different styles, right? So that's we are going to discuss here. List style type. This is actually a CSS property that we are using in this list or HTML lists to define the style of the list item marker. It can have the values. So this is a property. So we should give it some value, then only it works. So for that we use these kind of values. Let's get into that directly. First one is desk. So desk is actually a value for this list style type CSS property, which lists the list item marker as bullet. So when we use this list style type with the value desk, we get the list items in bulletins or bullets that we can see here also. So this is default. When we use list style type, we only have to add these kind of values. If we simply write a code like this, we doesn't need to add any of these values because we are not going to use this. Okay. So the next one is circle. Circle will represent or will list the items in circles. Okay, it will not be like a bulletin. Just the circle representation will be there in the list or in the web page. So square, so that we can change these rounds or these bulletins into square shapes. That's it. Like that, if we use this list style type is equal to none, we can just simply write these items only. It doesn't have any of these kind of markers. Got it? like these bulletins, squares, discs, rectangles, or any of these things. Okay, so let's see how will we include these things into our basic code that's here. That means here we opened our unordered list, and we are going to add with a style of list style type with the value desk. If I change this value to a circle or a square, then these list items will be displayed here with these rounds or these bulletins, not as bulletins but as what if I use square here, it will be these rounds will change to squares. Or if I don't need any of these kinds of representations or markers here, just need these datas only or these names only, I just can use this list style type value here as none. So this is all about the unordered list. So let's skip into or let's jump into our next one, that is ordered list. Okay, ordered list. This will list items or the list items will be marked with numbers by default. So at the unordered list, we saw that every list items will be marked or will be represented or displayed within the bulletins. Okay, so here when we use the ordered list, we will be representing them in numbers, its default. Okay, so what is the tag for which we use to define this ordered list is OL. OL is the tag to represent the ordered list. So OL define an ordered list, and LI, we know that they are actually the list items. Okay, list items is normally defined using this LI tags. So this is a simple code as what we already seen there. There's only one change here, that was an unordered list, so we used UL there, and here this is the ordered list, so we used OL. The data items doesn't want to change any of these tags because normally list items are represented inside or defined inside these LI tags. So this is the representation or this is the output what we get from this code while we execute. See one thing to note, that every single HTML code should be bounded or should be included inside the HTML tags and all basic tags, right? Don't ever go and write these things simply there, it won't work. Always use our basic tags, and inside which you can use these kind of styling things or whatever attributes, styles, whatever things we want. Always first of all you write the basic tags like doc type HTML, then HTML. Then if you need to add some heading, like here if I want to add this thing or to display before this as, or I need to add a heading for my display, so I used to give an h1 tag before this one like ordered list, and then I will be going to display this thing. So like that you can use an h2 tag here, then write your code, then complete the HTML open tags there, then close all these things, then come to the browser, then run it. So you'll get such a nice page. Okay, never ever used to just to write these only and to run, that won't ever work. Okay, so that's only. So this is normal representation or simple representation of our ordered list. It is always represented in numbers by default. So likewise what we already seen there in the UL tag, we can also change these markers like 1, 2, 3 to some other different things. Let's see what all things are there. First one is different list item markers. So there we used another CSS property, but here we have a attribute for this ordered list, that is type. So type is the attribute for this ordered list tag which defines the type of the list item marker. Okay, so when we give this attribute with the value 1, the list item will be numbered with numbers. So that's what, which is the default type representation in the ordered list. So if I change the value to A, capital letter A, all the list items will be represented or numbered in or with the uppercase letters. So how many list items I have, all these will be represented or numbered like A, B, C, D, like that. Okay, in caps letters or in uppercase. So like that, if I need lower cases there, then I can change the value of A with this small a. Also, I need to represent, if I need to represent these list items in Roman letters, so there we can use this Roman letter representation. Also small Roman letters, then we can use this small I. Okay, so this is all about the list markers, different type of list markers, how we will use this in the code. That is what here. So we opened our ordered list tag. So we have to add, or we have to represent our ordered or our list items in small Roman letters. So what we used, type is equal to small I. That means this is a representation for Roman letters. So then we write all our list items. Then when we execute it, we get an output like this. So every list items are marked or numbered with 1, 2, 3 in single or small Roman letters. Okay, so this is by default will be numbering 1, 2, 3 numerical numbers, but we have, if we need any change, then we can use these kind of things using type attribute. So the next one is description list. We can see then. So our third type of list is description lists. Is a list of items with description of each item. So if we need to add descriptions to each of our items, then we can use this kind of list, HTML list, that is description list. So how we represent, we use DL. DL is the defining tag here. DL defines the description list, and likewise DTs represent what, or defines the description item. So which item we want to describe, so we want to write that item name first. So that item name will be in the DT tag, and what description we want to give to that item, that should be there in the DD tag. Okay, so the DD tag defines or describes each item or each of the term. Got it? So if here I used coffee and milk are as my two description terms or names, then I give each of them with a small description, that is coffee having, or coffee is a black hot drink and milk is a white cold drink. So let's see how it's normally represented, or how it will be displayed like this. Coffee, it has got a simple description here, black hot drink, and for the milk, white cold drink. So this is simply our description list, wherever we need to describe our each of the list items, so then we can use this description list. Next we are going to focus on nested list. So nested list is nothing but list. Each of the lists in HTML can be nested. That means list inside list. We can represent our list items inside the list items itself, like that. It's just the nesting takes place there. So how we define these nested lists, that we are going to see here. UL. So while we see this UL, we can identify that this is an unordered list. So I'm going to represent here just an example using this unordered list for the nested HTML lists. So I opened my unordered list, and inside I have got some more codes there. First one, LI, that means my first list item, that is coffee. So the next list item is tea. But we know that there are also some different kinds of tea available. So we used another single nesting there, or single list inside the tea itself. So I opened another unordered list tag, and inside that I included my all different kinds of teas available. And then since I opened and I added everything to this first nested list, then I close this here. Then also I have got another type of drink, so I want to list that there also. So I used normal li tag with the milk as the list item. Then completing all this, I closed my UL tag. Then let's see how this is seen as in the display. So this was my first item. Since it was in the unordered list, it will be normally displayed, or by default it will be displayed in the bulletins. So here we can see bulletin and with the name coffee, and like the second one, tea, that is also displayed here. But while executing this, it has also got another UL tag, that means another unordered list inside this tea. So then there comes the black tea and green tea. So that things are also represented in, but since they are in another already there in the UL tag, they are displayed as a small circle tags, which represent this is actually the nested one or sub list of this tea. So that's why it is represented like this. And completing that, we have also got another list item here, milk, which is normally or aligned as per the tags or alignment which is for this tag. So that is normally displayed as milk here. Then I closed my UL. So that's all what we see here. Wherever you need a sub listing in any of our list items, there all we can use these kinds of nested list HTML list format. So this is not only we can use or apply this for this UL tags, that means unordered lists, we can also use for the ordered list items too. So guys, you take your HTML page or your file, then change these tags into OL, that means ordered list. So then you can see how this works for the ordered list too. So this is all about these HTML lists. They are actually very simple and almost all in the same normal or convenient methods. Only we have to add some of the stylings there. So there only we have to get the concentration. But everything there are quite simple and easy to understand. So this is all about our today's session. Thank you.